All right, it is Friday, May 1st. You've made it through another week of virtual learning. Congratulations. Quiz day. You've got your Fan 5 quiz. You've had 4 chances to knock it out. Today is the day that counts. Today really is the only day that matters. So, hopefully you're watching this video because this is kind of going to get you prepared. It's going to get you set up. It's going to get you on a good path to be successful. If it's the first time you've watched this week, welcome. If you've been watching all week, you're awesome. Great job. Before we get into our 5 questions, I went with the Dream Team USA basketball jersey today. Larry Bird, Larry Legend. Different jersey every single day until sports come back. That is my promise to you. So we're going to go ahead and get these 5 questions going. I want no comments on my hair. It's the longest it's been in a long time. I think I'm just going to let that thing go until quarantine's over. We'll see. I don't know. All right, looking at number 1. Look, number 1 by now should be a question. Boom, you look at it, run through the steps in your head, you're done. Knock it out. Because I'm looking at that angle. I know it's an acute angle. I know it's going to be less than 90 degrees. That helps me eliminate answer choices. C's gone, D's gone. Those are both obtuse. Not going to waste my time with those. Now I just have to determine, does that angle fall on 60 degrees or does it fall on 62 degrees? Well, really, this is passing the eye test, because when you follow the top of that angle, I mean, it's splitting that number 60 right between the eyes. It lands right on 60. And just to prove that, or just to be sure, I would go ahead and find 62 on that protractor just to make sure that line's not falling on it. So I got to figure out which way my numbers are increasing. So if I'm going right to left, 62 would be going this way. Hopefully you can see my mouse. But this is 65. I know that because it's right in between 70. So you can work backwards. You can go forwards. But I know 62 would be right here. And I can clearly see that that angle does not fall on that line on the protractor, which would lead me to get that answer of A, 60 degrees. That one's been good all week. Maybe minus Tuesday, I think I saw it go backwards, but the other days, or yesterday was really good also. So that one is kind of where it should be. That one, like I said in the previous video, that's your warm-up question to lead you into a question like number 2. And this question today was actually, I think, a little bit easier than Tuesdays and Wednesdays question. It's very similar to Mondays with how you had to do one step of the work. It says Mrs. Williams requires students to read 20 books if they want to be on the Battle of the Books team. If McKenna read 7.5 books in the first month and 4.5 books in the second month, how many books does she have left to read? So you're going to do some subtraction. And again, I'm going to solve this the same way that I've been solving it. It's just the way that I like to do it. I'm going to go ahead and add up what I've already read, or what McKenna has already read, subtract it from the 20 that she has to read. That way I can see what's left. So I know she read 7.5 in the first month plus the 4.5 that she read in the second month. So we'll start whole numbers. 7 plus 4 gives me 11. And then if I'm adding the fractions, 1/2 plus 1/2 would give me 2/2. And I told you this in Tuesday's video, you're never going to see 11 and 2/2 represented that way, or you're not going to see it as an answer choice. You've got to know that that fraction is equal to 1. Anytime your numerator and denominator are the same, instead of saying 11 and 2/2, if you know that's 1 whole, you've got to know that McKenna has read total 12 books. So Mrs. Williams says she has to read 20. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the 12 that she's already read to figure out what's left. So obviously I'd have to do a little bit of regrouping here, but if I'm in the ones place, 10 minus 2 would give me 8. 1 minus 1 would give me 0. So for number 2, that would give me an answer choice of 8 books. So you got a little break there. You didn't have to do anything with subtracting without a fraction, giving a number a fraction. That one's just straight up whole number minus a whole number if you did the addition right with your books that you already read. So that one would have given you C8 books. To me, most challenging question all week long. It's been really good too. All right, number 3, and this is not an exaggeration. Charlie is addicted to Danimals. He drinks 12 Danimals a week. How many Danimals will Charlie have had after 48 weeks? So I'm a visual person. I can see 48 weeks, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here. Instead of doing all that repeated addition, we're going to stack them. We're going to multiply 48 times 12. Again, if you like that area model, you are more than welcome to do it. Starting in the ones place, 2 times 8 is 16. 6 days, 1 goes. Now going across, 2 times 4 gets me 8, plus 1 more gets me 9. Now I'm going to multiply by the tens place. I'm going to come down, put my placeholder, and then I can multiply. Get rid of this because that was for the ones place. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. Last step that I need to do is add those two numbers together. In the ones place, 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 8 is 17. So the 7 stays, the 1 goes. And then if I do 1 plus 4, that would give me 576 Danimals in 48 weeks, which would be C. So you stack them, you multiply, you got it. Moving on to number 4. So I did this one a specific way for a reason. You do not deserve to get this question correct if you are lazy. There are not many people who can just look at these 3-digit numbers and subtract 41 in their head like that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's not really a common number to be counting by. So you were forced to do a little bit of work here. And if you didn't and you just kind of eyeballed it and you missed it, as much as I love you all, I'm glad you missed it. You've got to give some effort on this question. Guys, I'm not subtracting by 41 in my head. I'm doing the work ahead of time. Okay, so I had to work all these out to get this answer. All right, so we'll go to the whiteboard. We'll start with our first answer choice, which is 177, 132, 99, and 58. Again, we're trying to see which one of these patterns follows the rule minus 41. This one passed the first test. The answers are getting smaller, so it's obviously using subtraction. But if you did 177 minus 41, which you would have to stack and do a little bit of work, that would not give you 132. That would give you 136. So this is a case where you can stop right here. Normally I say check until you can't anymore. Well, you can't anymore. Okay, it didn't work on the very first one. A is gone. All right, then we've got 241 minus 201, 171, 131. Again, the numbers are getting smaller, but is it following the rule? And again, in this case, it's not. If I did 241 minus 41, that's going to give me 200, not 201. So once again, I can stop after the first number because it didn't work. And then I'll go with C, 854, 813, 772, 731. This one checks out all the way down. This is correct, this is correct, and this is correct. And again, I'm not doing that in my head. I got a sheet of paper right here where I'm stacking them and I'm doing the subtraction myself, okay? But for time purposes, I'm not doing it on here. And number 5, last one, or I'm sorry, letter D, last one, which I would check anyways because I could have made a mistake, especially with numbers this big. 145 minus 41, that does work. So I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to keep checking. But if I did 104 minus 41, that's not going to give me 84. That would have given me 63. That's where I can stop. That's where I can feel pretty good that my answer was correct. And that would have given me C for number 4. So I like that question today just because I wanted people to actually have to do some work. And if you're missing it, honestly, I'm looking at it as you just didn't do the work. So I don't know. All right, last but not least, going to number 5. This one's been great all week, and it should be. Maybe should have gone a little bit bigger on some of these numbers, but I'll remember that for the future. Make sure all your place values are lined up. 1s with the 1s, 10s with the 10s. And then all you've got to do is add. Starting in the ones place, 3 plus 2 is 5. Tens place, 4 plus 4 is 8. And in the hundreds place, 8 plus 8 is 16. My 6 stays, my 1 goes. All right, moving to the thousands place, 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 gives me 5. 5 plus 5 gives me 10. 0 stays, 1 goes. And then 3 plus 1 gives me 4, which is 405,685, which would give me an answer choice of D. It looks very similar to C. Make sure you are looking at these answer choices super carefully so we're not making silly mistakes. All right, it's Judgment Day. It's the only day that matters. Take your time. Don't fly through these questions. Because really, as I'm going over them, it's stuff we've been doing in class. It's stuff we've done for a while. It's stuff we ought to be able to do. So make sure you guys are doing your absolute best on today's Fan 5. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it has provided you some help this week. We're coming at you with the Fresh 5 next week. And I will see you all on Tuesday. Have an awesome weekend and best of luck.